What's up, everybody? It's Man of Low Moral Fiber here. My name's Luke, and welcome to part 4 of my overpowered level 8 Melee Zer0 playthrough. In this episode, I will be killing Warden to rescue Roland, and then working my way all the way through the Tundra Express quest, and then defeating Wilhelm. So what we're going to do here is just work our way through the Bloodshot Ramparts. There's actually no enemies for us to kill where we actually, or no enemies that are required for us to kill, I should say, in this particular map on our way to Warden. There are some enemies that we're required to kill after killing Warden, but the rest of this we can all just kind of run through. I will be killing a few enemies to gain survivability and follow through bonuses though, which will boost my movement speed and help me get through the area maybe a little bit quicker than if I killed no enemies at all. It'll definitely be a little bit more fun than, avoiding all enemies entirely. But my main goal is to get to Warden as quickly as possible. Once we get to Warden, we'll have to defeat a few loaders and then a few badass loaders. And other than this one particular story quest and then one really small side quest after that, there's actually no reason to really come to this map, other than the fact that I think it looks really cool. And that's why I think it's kind of a shame that there's no real reason to come back here. I guess if you come back here after the quests are done, there's the little shrine where you can roast one of your friends or sacrifice one of your friends and fight a few bandits up in this area. But I really think they should have put a boss over in this area and maybe a quest that tied into that, because I think it would be really nice to come back to this area where there's this giant golden Marcus statue and have a boss to fight that can't really be one hit like Warden is there. Warden's kind of boring. He's not that tough or anything. So that's kind of a wasted area, I believe. Or it's not a wasted area. It's an underutilized area. The dam definitely looks really cool if you actually look down the front face of the dam. It looks really neat. It goes really far down. And just the rest of the art in the map looks really cool as well. Some wasted elements. Not wasted. I keep saying wasted. I don't mean that they're completely wasted. They are underutilized, and I think that's a big shame. Anyway, sorry about that little rant. After we are going to get through this area, we will be moving on to the Tundra Express, where we actually meet my favorite character from Borderlands 1, which is Mordecai. I enjoyed playing Mordecai in Borderlands 1 quite a bit. I actually enjoyed all the characters, but if I had to pick a favorite, I guess it'd be Mordecai. I enjoyed his pistol and sniper rifle centric builds. They were really cool. The pistol build actually ended up being one of the stronger builds in the game, and I was able to defeat Cromarax the Invincible with it pretty easily. Speaking of Cromarax, there's a DLC coming out where we will be able to fight the son of Cromarax pretty soon, and that will be definitely really cool. He has actually been confirmed to go into raid boss mode after he's defeated in headhunter mode, where the other headhunter bosses are pretty weak. Cromarax will actually be a full-blown raid boss at the end, and so that'll be really cool, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. Raid bosses are definitely really fun. One of my favorite parts of the game for sure. Obviously, if you watch my channel, you probably know that a little bit. Anyway, we're using these grenade jumps now to get through this sanctuary portion just a little bit quicker. You can definitely jump up to Roland and Lilith there to save a little bit of time. We'll go ahead and teleport out to the Three Horns Divide, get a bandit technical, and get on our way to the Tundra Express. Also in the Tundra Express is a character that was at one point really controversial. I don't know if you guys paid attention to it at any point, but there was a point in time where a lot of people criticized Tiny Tina for being racist. And as I'm sure a lot of you know, Tiny Tina is actually voice acted by the lead writer for Borderlands 2. His name is Anthony Birch. Her name is Ashley Birch. They obviously have a very popular YouTube channel and other endeavors as well that they do, and they're very successful people, and I like them quite a bit. I think they're pretty funny and talented and whatnot. But there was a point where a lot of people were very, very critical of Tiny Tina for use of ebonics and, just how she is, I guess, basically. And I don't know, it seemed very, very strange to me. I never really thought there was anything too offensive about Tiny Tina. That all kind of died down though after the release of DLC 4, where Tiny Tina is the main focus of that, and it's a very it's a story that's very easily, you know, that people can very easily relate to. It's very relatable. I guess that's what I was looking for. And because of that, a lot of the criticism on Tiny Tina really eased up after they saw how she missed Roland, I guess. And I think that was probably kind of intended by Gearbox, because they obviously put a lot of time into that DLC. And that was something they, I think, wanted to remedy quite a bit, because they obviously probably didn't expect the backlash from the whole introduction of Tiny Tina and everything. I definitely didn't. It was very, very foreign seeming to me. I couldn't believe that people were actually taking offense to something that I didn't think was wrong at all. I didn't think, you know, would bother anybody. But apparently, you know, it struck a lot of people as strange. I don't know. Anyway, here she is. I always thought she was pretty funny. There's a whole group of people who say they don't enjoy her and think she's annoying. Not particularly racist or offensive. They just find her irritating. I don't find her irritating either. I think she's a pretty cool little character, and I wish a lot of people didn't hate on her. But, you know, they're definitely entitled to their own opinions, and they can make their own decisions. But I think what she says here, particularly in this quest, the first time that you meet her, is very, very funny. The stuff she says about the rockets and twin sisters, it's all just hilarious to me. I don't know. So what we're going to do actually is enter the bandit camp from the backside and grab the second rocket really, really quickly, and then grab the first rocket on our way out so that we can get back to Tina and on our way to Wilhelm a little bit quicker. I'll kill a few dudes in this little area where you hijack a train just to gain follow-through bonus on the way to the back of this next bandit area. Obviously, the chain lightning works really well with the Grog Nozzle for survivability. The chain lightning, I didn't like it at first because it doesn't strip your shield as often as the Stormfront will, or at least on as many surfaces, and that's kind of irritating when you really need your shield to be down for particular melee strikes with Zero and whatnot. But the chain lightning does just actively seek out enemies and regenerates itself, and it's just kind of hard to argue with after a while. The chain lightning's a fabulous grenade, and that was added by Tiny Tina's DLC. For a while I had to play, you know, with the Stormfront like all other Melee Zeros did back in the day, but now we have the chain lightning. And as you can see, it was able to get me through that area with, you know, relatively no difficulty at all, because I could just rely on that to get my health back above 50% so that I wouldn't be one shot. We're going to be moving on back to Tiny Tina now. Try to catch a follow-through bonus if I can find any Varkids to Norfleet here. That's what I was using that Norfleet for. It was primarily just to gain run speed bonuses off these little bugs. I thought the Varkid idea was very, very cool as well. Pretty interesting that they would level up and eventually possibly become a raid boss. I feel like they should have made Verm quite a bit easier to spawn. I guess I didn't want people to accidentally end up with too many Verms to kill, but I feel like that would definitely be a better alternative to having trouble finding Verm, is what I think. I hope Borderlands 3 is very, very raid-centric. I don't know. That's something that I definitely look forward to. The raid bosses are quite fun in the game. I walked right past Tiny Tina there. I don't know if you noticed that, but I was looking for her and I saw her in the shop and walked right away. Turned around. Couldn't find her. Oh well. So we're going to get the Badonkadonks back to the bunnies now, and we'll be able to use these to blow up the train and then move on to finding Wilhelm. I'd like to thank you guys at this time for watching. I very much do appreciate it, guys. I do want to finish this series, so I'm definitely going to finish this series whether it gets viewers or not, but it's definitely a lot more enjoyable and desirable to make if people actually watch it. So if you're watching it, I do very much thank you. I know that maybe this series isn't everybody's cup of tea, but if you are watching it, I do thank you very much. Can't say that enough. Anyway, now we're going to go ahead and take these bunnies over to the place where we can shoot at Wilhelm. That's actually kind of the stage for one of the more infamous glitches from when the game was first released. There was a power leveling glitch which involved a character called Flesh Stick over here. And some of you guys may remember leveling some of your first characters up to 50 using that particular little exploit. There are definitely other ways to level up quickly, or you could just use a save editor to do it instantly, you know. But back in the day, there was a little guy over here that people would kill over and over again because he would give badass style EXP for an enemy that only took 1 or 2 shots to kill, and he would just infinitely respawn, and so people would level up their friends or their alternate characters over there. And that was pretty cool. They definitely patched that up pretty quick. One of the many fixes they made to this game, actually. Hopefully the next game will have less bugs at release than Borderlands 2 did. But obviously, with a game like Borderlands 2 with a vast array of loot and skills, it's definitely hard to find every single bug, but it seems like there sure are a lot of them in Borderlands 2. Some of them, you know, more interesting than others, of course, and some of them were more irritating than others before they were patched. It's beyond me how they released the bee in its initial state where it would apply as many pellets as you had per shotgun shot or whatever. It seemed like there's no way that could have made it past testing, but it did, and it definitely caused a big stink. So hopefully there won't be as much of that in Borderlands 3. They say, or I guess Pitchford has said he's not working on it, or they're not working on it, but I don't know if I believe that. It just seems like it would almost be foolish not to be working on it at this point. But I don't know. Hopefully, Borderlands 3 won't have to deal with the previous generation of consoles at all. I know that the PS3 and 360 limited Borderlands 2 quite a bit. Hopefully, the new consoles will allow for a little bit more headroom for them to actually make Borderlands 3 a better game than the, you know, limitations kind of allowed for Borderlands 2 to become. Obviously, it wouldn't have to have any limitations at all if it was a PC exclusive, but that's highly unlikely. And, you know, even though it's what I'd prefer, it's not going to happen. Anywho, we're going to be going on and killing Wilhelm quickly. I'll go ahead and slag him, get a few shots on him with the corrosive Norfleet, and then I'll go ahead and take him out with an execute. Now, here he kind of throws the power core off the cliff, I think, because I just kind of walk towards the cliff after this, and it just comes to me. And that's where I'm going to cut this episode off, guys. Obviously, we'll be turning this power core back into Sanctuary, and Sanctuary will be, spoilers, taking off after this, so look forward to that in the next episode. I'll try to have that up before too long. Otherwise, I thank you guys very much for watching, and I do very much hope to catch you next time. Bye, guys.
Why don't you bring it back here? We may not have found the vault key, but at least Sanctuary will be safe a little longer thanks to you. Wow! Bravo! Champagne! Cheers!